everybody, my name's Shannon. Welcome to my channel. Today I have some plant chores to do, so I thought I might just do them on camera and talk to you guys. So today I'm going to be repotting my Monstera adansonii, my Rephotophora tetrasperma, and my philodendron micans. These have all been acclimating in my home for a decent amount of time, so I feel like now it's time to repot them and place them in the areas of the house where I want them to live. So yeah, let's just get started. So I'm going to start off with the Monstera adansonii. This one, I thought about giving it a moss pole and letting it climb, but I decided instead that I wanted to have it in a hanging planter. I just got this at Target. I think it's really cute. I think it'll work out nicely. So I already have my soil mix made. This is a combination of good dirt. Is it organic? No. Good dirt potting mix, some orchid bark, and some perlite. I do prefer to use pumice, but I don't have any in my house right now. We're all stuck at home, so we're working with what we've got. So I think it's a pretty good mix. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a nice airy mix. The orchid bark is gonna let the roots breathe while also retaining some moisture. So that's what I tend to prefer for my aroids. So I'm just gonna get this guy out of the pot. Okay, so this guy is pretty root bound, I'd say. Don't quote me on this, but I think this variety actually likes being a little bit root bound. It'll encourage it to grow longer. I know that is at least true with pothos. So that's how I tend to treat most of my vining plants. So I'm just gonna break apart the roots. Okay, so this has like a really awesome root system. I'm really excited for this plant. So I'm just going to fill up this pot about a third of the way with some soil. All right, and I'm just gonna set the plant inside there. Sometimes I look back, like early on in my plant parenthood, I can't believe how many plants I tortured by repotting them like as soon as I got them home, because I was just so excited about having a new plant, and like I wanted to get it looking the way that I wanted it as soon as possible. Guys, don't do that. I've sent so many plants into shock doing that. If you repot the plant before it has time to acclimate to your space, it's gonna complain a little bit. So I tend to let them acclimate for at least like a week and a half to 2 weeks, just to get used to my space. And I typically don't repot them until they have new growth, because I think it's a pretty good indicator that they are ready, that they're used to my space, they're happy, and now it's okay to disturb the roots a little bit. Right, give this some water. I do use distilled water on all of my plants. You know, the water in Jersey can be good, but I just don't really want to take much of a risk with my plants. You know, I am really invested in them, so I just use distilled water for most of them, except like cacti. I mean, I water them so infrequently that it doesn't really matter, and they're pretty resilient. So right, there she is. Oh my gosh, I think she's so cute. By the way, this is the narrow leaf form of the adansonii. I got actually all of these plants at a local nursery called Williams Nursery. If anybody is looking to get out of their house, their greenhouse is still open. I wouldn't recommend anybody really going shopping right now, but if you're going to go anyway, they're a small business. Wear a mask, wear gloves, keep 6 feet away from everybody. I just think this is such a rough time for small businesses. So if you're going to go out anyway, look for the local businesses. So that's Williams Nursery in Westfield. So go there. I love them. They always have a great selection. All right, so next up is the Rephotophora tetrasperma. I actually already have one of these, but I spent so long looking for them that whenever I see it in person, I just feel like I have to pick one up. And this one was so lush and really healthy and like just gorgeous. So I just had to pick it up. And I did actually already take a cutting to give to a friend. So yeah, great plant. For this one, I'm gonna make a moss pole. The other one that I have is on like, it is on a moss pole. It's a bigger moss pole, but I just like when these climb, the leaves get really big. I love it. So I'm gonna use this little bamboo stake, just pot it up in there. I don't want this one to get particularly giant, and this will still fit on my plant shelf. So I'm just gonna make a moss pole real quick. I'm not an expert by any means at making moss poles, and it does take me a little bit of time, but through the magic of video, I will deliver it to you sooner. And voila, there she is. Like I said, I'm not an expert at making these. All of my moss poles that I've made myself look a little bit wonky, but I think it gives them a little bit of character. So I'm just gonna cut this extra twine off and wet this so that the roots have so that the aerial roots are more encouraged to adhere to this. So this guy is also quite root bound. He's definitely ready for a repot and probably some new fresh soil. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, so I've got it broken up pretty well. I think it's about as much as it's gonna go. I didn't want to damage the roots too much, so I'm just gonna lay that here real quick. Cut some soil. And I want the moss pole to be toward the back of the pot so that I still have room for the plant. All right, so I'm gonna give this guy a good water, help settle the roots into the new soil. I really should have done this with a watering can. Okay, so next up for this one, I'm gonna just use some plant Velcro to sort of train this up the way that I want it to go. The plant actually looks upside down. I guess the way it's been growing, just because it was getting bushy, yeah, it's sort of upside down, so I'm definitely gonna have to train this over probably the next like week or two. Got my Velcro, and just, this is not long enough. Right. I'm just gonna loosely wrap this around. Kind of loosely. I don't want it to harm the plant. So, and then as time goes by, I can tighten it more and more to the pole. And this plant actually has 2 vines. So one of them is really short, so I'm going to, no, I can get that one up now. so that is what the plant looks like now. I think she's cute. So I'm probably going to keep her in this smaller pot for a little while, let her acclimate a little bit more to the pot. Okay. I was going to repot this Stromanthe, but I don't actually have a pot with drainage, so it's just going to stay in this little catch pot right now. Get my moss out of the way. Okay, next up is my philodendron micans. So let's check out the roots on this one. Okay, this one's not overly root bound, but I've already lost some soil and it's gonna need a repot relatively soon anyway. So I'm gonna just go ahead and keep repotting this one. This one has quite a few plants in here. I think I'm actually gonna give these lines to a friend because I'm feeling generous. So I'm gonna put those in their own little pot. Oh, it's gonna be so cute. Right. I'm actually just gonna dump this in there so that it fills in all the spots. I'm making a huge mess. Lee's gonna kill me. There she is. She's little, she's young, she's cute. So next, this little impromptu addition. This one is so cute. Leanne, this is for you. There we go. Look at her. She's cute. Okay, so I'm gonna water this one as well. And that concludes my video. I feel like I should acknowledge that this is my first video, so anybody who's watching, thank you so much. I filmed a separate video about 2 weeks ago. It was a plant unboxing. I was really excited about it, but then I watched the footage and it was so cringy. I would not subject my worst enemy to watching that video, so I decided to just scrap it and completely redo my first video. So, these are today's spoils. I love all of them, and I love anybody who's watching. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye!